Today is Friday, January 6th.
Now, let's go to Ethan with our weekly weather.
Kimpton meteorologist Ethan here reporting the weather for your weekend. Saturday will be cold with a high temperature only nearing 38 degrees. It will unfortunately be an overcast Saturday, but that's not the worst level of weather we will get this weekend. On Sunday, it will be a tad bit warmer with a high of 42 degrees. Snow showers and sleet are possible on Sunday throughout the day. Now on to Gabby with the sports recaps.
This week was filled with sports. On Tuesday and Thursday, there was both a girls' and boys' basketball game.
On Wednesday, there was a wrestling match, and tomorrow we will have a wrestling tournament.
Just a reminder to our athletes that Picture Day will be held at Kimpton on January 23rd. Now to our staff spotlight. Welcome to this week's staff spotlight. We interviewed Mr. Jarvis, Mr. Keski, and Ms. Benyo. Here are those interviews. What is your name and job?
Hi, I'm Mr. Jarvis. I am the math teacher on Team 81.
Okay, cool. How long have you been teaching?
This is my 18th year teaching at Kimpton, and I haven't taught anywhere else. I've been here my whole career.
What is your favorite part about teaching?
The connections you make with the students and the relationships you build, and when the students come back years later and come to visit you, and they remember you, but it's hard to remember the faces.
What would you teach if you couldn't teach math anymore?
Oh, there's only one other subject. Social studies, definitely.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
What is your name and job?
Name is Mr. Keski, and job is building sub at Kimpton.
How long have you been teaching?
Been subbing for 1 year, so January of 22, and this is the end of the first year.
What is your favorite part about your job?
I like being able to do different things every day, so I never know where I'm at and never know what kind of experiences I'm going to have.
What is your favorite subject that you ever taught?
I like English, but anything where we get to talk about life and all the kind of cool challenges and stuff that we deal with, that's fun.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What is your name and job?
My name is Miss Benyo, and I am the school counselor.
All right. How long have you been the school counselor for?
Here I've been the school counselor for 2 years. Overall, this is my 4th year as a school counselor.
All right, cool. What would you say the hardest part about your job is?
I think the hardest part about my job is how cold my office is. It's very chilly in here, and it takes a lot of mental strength to get past that.
All right. And what's your favorite part?
My favorite part is all the time I get to spend with students in my office, outside of the office, just getting to know them more.
All right, thank you.
Ski Club will begin on Wednesday, January 11th, and will end on Wednesday, February 8th.
If you are bringing your own skis or snowboard, please drop your equipment off in room 311 at the start of the school day.
If you are staying after school on Ski Club days, you must wait in the cafeteria until the bus arrives.
The bus will arrive around 4:15 and will pick students up from Brandywine at 8:30.
That's all for now. Think snow.
Everyone that is interested in the Winter Challenge, the flyers with the QR code have been posted up around the school. The challenge has already started and will end at the end of the month. The winners will receive a special treat. We cannot wait to see the different masterpieces.
Happy New Year, Mrs. Zapone. I hope you guys had a nice holiday break there. I'm really excited for making some goals this year. The only problem is I feel like when I start making goals, they never end up really working out for me. I don't know if I'm not making the right goal or if I'm just not practicing what I'm supposed to be doing, but I feel like I always struggle when I make goals.
Well, Ms. Van Orman, that's a pretty common problem to have, and it might be because the goals that you're setting aren't SMART goals. And sometimes we set goals that just don't work out because they're just too big and broad. And so one thing you might want to try this January is setting up a goal that's SMART: specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. Let's talk about what that looks like and doesn't look like.
So specific, we want it to be clear, specific, so we know what that goal is. So it's easier to achieve and it helps me stay on task and know what I'm actually trying to look forward to in the end.
Measurable. We want to make sure we pick a goal that can be measured, that you can check off at the end of the day if you did it or you didn't do it. How many times you said you were going to do something or not do them. Good SMART goals are measurable.
They also need to be actionable. So are you able to take action to achieve this? Is it something that you're going to be able to do? Do you have the ability to meet that goal?
Realistic. We want to make sure that we avoid goals that are just unrealistic. So becoming an NBA player this year, kind of unrealistic. We want to make sure we're setting ourselves up for success. So small goals to start off, things we can bite off and actually accomplish.
And we want it to be time bound. We don't want it to be for the whole 9 weeks. We want to start small. Maybe do something for a couple weeks. See if it's working. If it's not working, go back and look at that goal and maybe set a different goal. We want it to be short term and not long term.
So here's a good example, Ms. Van Norman. A lot of times kids come back quarter 3 and they say, you know what? My goal for this quarter is to get good grades.
Well, is that a SMART goal? I'm not sure. Let's look and see if it actually meets what a SMART goal is. Is it specific?
Not so much. It's hard to tell if you're clearly achieving it or not as you go along because grades don't really get finalized for a really long time.
And a good grade to me might not be a good grade to you, so that's probably not very specific. Is it measurable? Well, we could measure it, but we're going to have to wait until 9 weeks from now to measure it to see if we're really going to get good grades or not.
Is it actionable? Well, it's hard to tell. Am I good grading today? I don't know. Am I able to do something that's totally in my control to make this come about? It's just hard to tell. Get good grades is so broad.
And is it realistic? It depends. If right now you currently think that good grades are all A's and last 9 weeks you got just 1 B, yes, it's realistic. But if you were more in the C or D range last year and you think good grades is getting straight A's, that's probably not realistic. So we want to look at what's realistic and is it something we're going to be able to achieve.
And the time-bound part. I mean, our quarter ends and we see grades, but we want to set goals with specific dates that are not too far down the path so that we can make changes if we need to, or we can also celebrate success without waiting a really long time. So if we're not going to say get good grades, that's just not a SMART goal. What might be a better goal to set for you?
We could talk about maybe writing what our homework is each day. We could talk about writing down specifically for each class what we have to do for that night. We can measure it. Are we doing it each night? If we have 5 classes, do we have 5 things written down? Is it actionable? Yes, it's something you can do at the end of every class. You can look at it and win the next day, see where you are. Is it realistic? In 8th grade, it is realistic to expect that you can write at the end of each class period what you have to do for homework that night. And as far as time bound, you should probably do it for a couple of weeks. See if it's something that's working for you. Are you able to keep up with it? If you're not doing it every day, then it's probably not something you want to keep doing, but maybe you want to look at doing something different that's going to help you go towards getting better grades.
So for example, maybe I think I'm going to use a planner, but then my planner's just not quite working out for me. I have to go to another strategy if I wasn't able to write it down. Maybe I use a certain notebook each day. Maybe I put notes in my phone about what's due the next day. But there's different strategies that we want to use so we can reach our goals in quarter 3.
What we'd like you to do now is we're going to have the teachers pause the video so you can see what each letter represents in a SMART goal. And we would like you to make a SMART goal for yourself. Just a few weeks into the grading period. Doesn't have to be school related, but it should be something that is a SMART goal.
Specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. Good luck.
That's all for today.
This is Sam, Grayson,
And Lily.
with the morning announcements.
Today at Kimpton Middle School,
Be respectful, be responsible, be safe, and take care of one another. It's a great day to be a Bulldog. Goodbye!